This is an overview of the site in which the new project will be constructed. There are many significant structures surrounding the site of the project with varying architectural styles as well as cultural landmarks and works of art. The site itself is very expansive. It's located near the Moga Museum and lined on one side by a row of trees. The site, so that you can see better, is located in a section of Los Angeles which one could say is Little Tokyo and Civic Center's intersection, or at least where they meet. In this picture you can see Weller Court to the left with a diagonal going through it. You can see the Japanese Village Plaza with the blue tile roofs, and you can also see the Japanese American National Museum and the Moga Museum of Contemporary Art. On the south side of the site are several buildings constructed of brick. They've got segmental arches and fire escapes. They give the site a relatively industrial appearance, and they overlook the site of the future construction. As I mentioned earlier, the segmental arches are ubiquitous, as well as, unfortunately, some vandalism. There are refuse containers, and on the current site of the project, many cars. You can see, the bricks and the construction here are odd and not necessarily luxurious, but these buildings do contain significant shops which attract the massive amounts of tourism. And then there is also this church. This is on the west side with some Ionic columns. Unlike the other architecture in the area, it closely follows the classical orders of the architecture and helps emphasize the importance of classicism to the architecture of this area. There is also, unfortunately, on this side, a large presence of vandalism, abandoned sites, and essentially areas which one would not necessarily want to walk through. And then there's the federal building in the north side of the site. And this building contains modernist style architecture from the early 60s. It was designed in the 50s by the firm of Welton Beckett and Associates in a comparatively anonymous style. It is adjacent to a large plaza containing Borowski sculptures. Borowski is a prominent artist who produced many paintings and sculptures. Consequently, it may be of interest to visitors to the new project. There is also the Roybal building, constructed of this ruddy, inexpensive stone. It's from the late 20th century and resembles many buildings built in the edge cities, the ubiquitous American edge cities. But this, of course, is Los Angeles. The patterns are repetitive and the architecture anonymous. The VA Medical Center is an important hub of medical care for veterans in the area. It's paneled with a mix of steel and stone. To the east of the project site is the Mogus Geffen Contemporary Museum, which contains this large mural by Barbara Kruger, as well as flexible exhibition space inside. In front of the museum entrance, there is a large shade structure, which welcomes visitors and gives them a place to meet. The large entrance door is a remainder from the time when this museum location was actually a police car warehouse. The interior is very expansive and conducive to the exhibition of contemporary art with its flexible layout. Edgy and modern art exhibitions are located within the museum and cycle occasionally, attracting visitors. Outside there is a large sculpture by Nancy Rubens containing aeroplane parts. It closely resembles aeroplane parts and hills in the Austrian Sculpture Park. Just south of the Geffen Contemporary Museum, there is the Japanese American National Museum, which contains a large curved glass facade. The visitors to the area are diverse in terms of age and culture. Here in the areas surrounding the site, one may encounter young visitors, old visitors, foreigners, locals, Japanese, motorcyclists, punky people and artists, amongst other kinds of visitors. And beyond the immediate surroundings of the site, there are many other cultural landmarks, such as the Noguchi Plaza. The Noguchi Plaza contains monumental basalt works by the famous sculptor, as well as a theatre and a cultural centre. The cultural centre is 5 stories tall and inspired by Japanese architecture. And also in the Civic Centre region, also near the site of the new project, there are many major government buildings, such as the Caltrans District 7 headquarters and the Mosque Courthouse. And beyond that are the many skyscrapers of downtown Los Angeles. And one cannot ignore the significance of public transport in traveling within the city of Los Angeles. It's a major factor to consider when building a new project, as well as making the experience in the new site as friendly as possible for pedestrians in a very car-centric city. The end.